The market continues to chop as all eyes are on the NVDA catalyst. Is it time for all-time highs? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so the market continues to chop as it awaits the end of the week catalyst, starting with today's NVIDIA earnings after the bell. That is projecting to be a 10% move according to the options data, and that will be a major move for the market. So the question is it the pullback we've been looking for or the direct route to all-time highs? I'll get into that in just 1 second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP 500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, just because the market chopped doesn't mean nothing happened. We absolutely crushed it today. We got in early, as you can see, at the 6:45 Pacific Standard Time. We got in long and rode it all the way up for another big win. And this takes us, guys, to over 33,000 for the year, trading 25 contracts per trade, which is over 4,000 a month on average. And this includes a month where I sat out half the month because I had a baby, and another month in March where I was out for some personal reasons. Had those months been normal, we would likely be in a better spot than we even are. If you want to be part of a winning team like this, stay tuned for later in the video. But for now, let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 1-hour futures chart for the S&P 500. And not a whole lot has changed since yesterday. We're still looking at two basic key areas. 55.85 to the low side, breaking through this monster support area, would send us likely much lower in that B wave that we're looking for into the 5400, 5350 area before looking for this C wave back up towards 5850. Remember, we are in an ending diagonal, so we would expect ABC type moves. Or are they going to be able to directly take us higher? And in that case, yeah, this can be a 4 or 5. I still think we may get this B wave pullback in the sense that you have an ABC up for this first wave. You got a wave 2, and then you have A and B of 3. Then you'd have C, and then 4 and 5. And the reason they're ABCs is this is an overlapping terrible structure. It would be an ending diagonal if it did go higher. And I think we could see them reject this equal high here on the ES, maybe make a new high on SPX and SPY, but reject the equal high and give us that wave B pullback. So come there, then look like this. That's a very strong possibility as well. But anything that breaks out over this 56.65 area should be treated with caution to the downside because we can squeeze very quickly. And if they are going to squeeze and they squeeze through this high as well, then I would look at 5800 in a more direct manner before then looking for a pullback from there to see what kind of structure we get and what kind of downside pattern plays out. So I would be cautious to the short side until 55.85 breaks. If you break that, it's a massive amount of, if you look at 55.85 across here, if you just draw a line from where they made the low here across, and basically a straight line, as straight as I can draw it anyway, you had this massive consolidation here, you had this sell-off point here, you had this gap fill here, you had this consolidation over here, you had this peak here. So that's a major level that will likely squeeze to the downside should they break through and really accelerate the market into this B wave area in the 5400 area, and then we'll see if the bulls are able to step up and rally like we think they will. Now, just because we are short-term long doesn't mean we have abandoned our long-term position. We still do think that this market is nearing a major top, and when we see that support break, which is the April lows, then we can shift to that. And that will only happen if we see a 5-wave move down. I've talked about this for quite a while. If we see a 5-wave move to the downside, then we would start to shift our opinion that we're in a much bigger correction that would take us much lower over the next several years. So that won't happen unless we get a 5-wave move down and break the April lows. For now, we're still looking for a B wave pullback and up to 5800. But if they break out over this consolidation area, over that 5670 area, they will squeeze into this high. And if they squeeze that high as well, they can get to 5800 directly. Over on the NASDAQ, okay, so on the NASDAQ, tech has been weaker. They still haven't gotten through their 764. They've been weaker on this pullback. They've already broken last week's low. They haven't fully broken down, but they did poke below last week's low. They've technically held it and pushed back up. But tech overall has been weaker heading into this major catalyst at the end of the week. So it is interesting to see what happens given those factors. I do still have this as the B wave with a C wave down, but this structure is not very clean. So they would almost have to make this a leading diagonal where it'd be 1, 2, and then you'd look for ABC of 3, 4, and then 5. And then so you'd have that down as your 1 of C and then continue from there. And I don't have a lot of confidence in that. But since they're not over their 764, I do still have that as like 51.49, the primary count, meaning percentages, 51%. So it's basically 1 and 1A. because this is so weak and has been so weak off of this bounce. The alt count, which is, like I said, like 51.49 on this, guys. It's not a landslide in either direction. But the alt count, basically, because of the ES and how the ES looks, would be this A and B here, the alt A and alt B, down into the 18,600 area, and then we look for higher after that. And then, of course, if they get the direct move higher that squeezes through 20,029 and ultimately 2132, they still need to get to this 20,350, 360 level. If they get through that, then they can squeeze directly to all-time highs without getting this B-wave pullback in that case. So NVIDIA has a 10% move based on the options data. That is a major market mover in the overall market, so tech will feel it. If it is a 10% move up, it's very likely they're going to squeeze the NASDAQ up out of here. If they have a 10% move down, we'll have to see how they react down here at this 50% 618 retrace and what kind of structure we get. Remember, the only structure that fully turns us bearish is a 5-wave move down. And again, this first move off the top is not that impulsive, so it would have to be a diagonal. But a full 5 down would turn us into a more bearish count where we look for a bounce and then a breakdown, and that would be a much bigger corrective move, but only if we see 5 down. Guys, if you love the information I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link, and it'll take you right over to the webpage. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible monthly plans, and they both come with a 7-day free trial because I want you to get in there, make sure you love it, become part of our trading team, interact with PT and I, and make sure it's for you before you ever spend a penny. You can cancel at any time, and you have nothing to lose by checking us out. We also have our educational material, our Elliott Wave for Beginners online course, and our Advanced Elliott Wave course. These courses are helping real traders make real money and finally understand the market in a way that makes sense. In our advanced course, we go through all of the more complex patterns, such as your advanced fib levels, your diagonals, your double and triple threes, your flats, and your triangles. We also go through how to trade Elliott Wave. All the different complex patterns you can see on the screen, our traders are loving it. But if you're just getting started, or maybe this is just a little too far advanced for you just now, you can check out our Elliott Wave for Beginners course. This course is helping real traders understand these complex markets and make real money for the first time ever. It can be very confusing when good news makes the market go down and bad news makes the market go up. And this is why Elliott knew that the news cycles were garbage long ago. He knew that the key levels mattered, and he knew what happened when those key levels held, and he knew what happened when they broke. And this is a huge trading advantage over the rest of the market. This course here, it's 25 videos where we go through 3 parts. We go through your introduction, where we go through your expectations, your mindset and emotion, the KISS method and why it works. We go through your chart setup and tools, where we give you every tool you need to use with Elliott Wave and how and why we use it, as well as the Elliott Wave for Beginners area. We go through all the waves, how to measure them, how to make sure they're failing, succeeding, key levels, everything you need to know to understand Elliott Wave and these complex markets. The cool thing about both courses is if you want to get them at a discount, you can buy them both at the same time for $37 off. But if you don't want to pay anything at all, you can simply join one of our monthly rooms, as they are included as part of that price. In our first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of our real-time market updates, all of our buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, a midday video where I spend 45 minutes to an hour going through different charts, answering questions and making sure everybody understands where we're at, what we're trading, why we're trading it, how we're trading it, trading psychology. Everything you need to know to be a successful trader, we go through on that call. And you also get all the training material you just saw. We trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing end day trades, so we do trade quite often in my room. If you're looking for individual stocks, futures trading, income trading, and advanced training, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as individual stocks, futures trading, income trading. That's killing it, guys. He was out the first half of the month. He was on vacation, which is, everybody gets a little break here and there. But he's already up 17 points in the second half of the month, having another killer month and doing amazing things with that income trading method. You really need to see it. It's an excellent trading style. And then his reduced risk binary method that crushes the market. He gets you in at a cheap price and gets you big multiples on your money. And it's how he structures those trades is so unique. Something you really have to see to understand. That's another reason we have that 7-day free trial. He also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account, trading mini ES futures, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we'd love to have you in these rooms so we can all make money together. Key takeaways for today. The market's just kind of coiling up, waiting for the catalyst at the end of the week. We were waiting to see if we were breaking out in a more direct move toward 5,800 to the upside, or if they're going to give us that pullback we've been looking for to the 54, 53, 50 area. Over on the NASDAQ, same type of setup, only a little bit weaker. They haven't reached their 764, and they are weaker to the downside. We are looking to see if NVIDIA is going to give them the strength to extend higher and break out into new all-time highs, or if we need the pullback first and then a launch higher after that. Guys, that is your market update for today. I'll talk to you tomorrow.